And quite frankly, I think the Tesla shares are the most valuable shares in the stock market. So, I don't really spend much time worrying about that either, because like when Elon sold shares last week, it was like to a benefit of the public, because he's not operating Tesla. He went from owning 17% of Tesla to 16% of Tesla, and it pushes the price down and allows other investors to buy Tesla stock at a cheaper price, when we all know the information that's out there that Tesla is executing brilliantly right now in a product that's in such high demand that they really just can't supply it. You're almost like an idiot if you go out and, like, I saw somebody just bought a new Explorer in my parking lot, and I'm like, you must be like an idiot.
In this video, Tesla bull Ross Gerber spits some facts, says he believes that Tesla stock is the most valuable stock in the marketplace, points out that people today buying internal combustion engine vehicles in a similar price range to a Tesla are idiots, hard to argue with that, and Tesla stock surges today, recovering some of its recent losses. So let's get into it. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. Tesla stock surged today, up a little over $42.69 per share, almost 5%, closing over $950. I won't be surprised if we see this happen again in the coming days and weeks, but as I always remind everybody, making short-term predictions about what any stock, especially Tesla stock, is going to do is fraught with danger, bordering on idiotic. So if I'm wrong, I won't be surprised, and if I'm right, I also won't be surprised, and there's no contradiction there. Now it's time to hear from long-term Tesla bull and absolute savage, Ross Gerber. I love the guy, and interestingly enough, Ross is somebody with whom I agree on most points regarding Tesla and almost nothing else he's ever said publicly. But unlike the echo chamber cultivating clowns over on Tesla Q, I enjoy exposing myself to ideas and opinions I don't always agree with, and in Ross's case, often vehemently disagree with. So let's hear what Ross has to say about Tesla, electric vehicles, and where he believes the next 2 Tesla Gigafactories will be located.
Think about some of those growth stocks. I think Tesla is probably one of the biggest ones, one of the most popular ones. I know that you're a huge fan of Elon and of Tesla. Talk to me a little bit about what you think about kind of that business and maybe headwinds or tailwinds that it has.
Well, Tesla, I would say, is the exception to all the things I was just saying, because they're executing so well, and the environment for Tesla couldn't be better with, gas $6 a gallon here in LA. All you see are Teslas like everywhere now, so like you're almost like an idiot if you go out and, like, I saw somebody just bought a new Explorer in my parking lot, and I'm like, you must be like an idiot.
I love Ross. He's always telling it as he sees it and doesn't sugarcoat anything, and I completely agree on this point. In fact, I've been repeating this for a couple of years on the channel. Consumers today who voluntarily choose to purchase an internal combustion engine vehicle in a similar price range to a Tesla are in fact idiots, unless of course they're the 0.00001% of people who are an exception to the rule. Can't really think of too many exceptions, but I'm sure there are a few out there where it makes more sense to pay considerably more money for an inferior vehicle in terms of performance and safety for, I don't know what the reason would be, but maybe there are some reasons out there. Otherwise, if you've got the money to buy a Tesla and you buy an ICE vehicle, you are an actual idiot, because you're voluntarily choosing to pay considerably more to own, operate, and maintain that vehicle over the lifetime of ownership. So unless you enjoy incinerating money, and maybe some people are into that, it's hard to understand why a well-informed consumer would opt to buy an inferior, more expensive ICE vehicle today if they can afford a Tesla. That being said, and this is the really important part, within about 2 years, every consumer on the planet, not just those who can already afford a Tesla, will have to be an actual fucking moron not to buy an electric vehicle. The reason this isn't true today is that there's some ICE vehicles in such low price points that some consumers who cannot afford anything else have no other choice. But as the cost of EVs come down and reach price parity with even entry-level ICE vehicles, you actually need to be stupid not to buy an EV. Of course, for some strange reason, it seems that legacy automotive manufacturers haven't quite figured out this rather important fact, and I'm sure they're all in for a very rude and financially catastrophic shock when in just a few years' time, demand and therefore sales of their inferior, more expensive ICE vehicles collapse catastrophically. Of course, this is the point where their overpaid, underqualified CEOs speak to investors and explain, oh gosh, I mean, how could we possibly have seen this coming? I mean, no one could possibly have predicted this collapse, this catastrophic collapse in ICE sales. It's not our fault that the company's headed for bankruptcy. And by the way, I'm retiring now. See ya.
It's like you're going to pay $6 a gallon for 15 miles a gallon in traffic, or 10 miles a gallon in traffic in LA. I'm like, you're spending $150 a week just driving your kids around to baseball and stuff. And I'm like, I spend nothing, I'm like, if you don't like inflation, you go buy an EV. It's simple as that. And so people are. And so the demand is far outstripping the supply. And the real game is supply. Can we make cars? And with China, that's just been a huge problem. So China is the biggest problem for the global economy right now. It makes interest rates seem like nothing. Honestly, like, I don't even spend any time worrying about the Fed. I'm worried about China because we make a lot of stuff in China. We make cars in China. We make phones in China. We make half the stuff I own, make stuff in China, and China is like whack-a-mole with COVID, which is definitely a losing game. And, it's a mess. It's just a mess. So it's hard for Tesla to manufacture right now in China, which is their best market to sell and manufacture. And we have new plants that are coming up in Austin and in Berlin, but we're, 12 months from efficient, production. And so it's a really great time for Tesla right now, but this is a super challenging time as well.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, Elon has done a fantastic job building that business. He now has he's turning his attention to Twitter. A couple of things here. So, what's your general read on the whole Twitter situation? Are you a fan of Elon doing this? Do you think it's a distraction? How do you read it to start?
Well, I'm going to tell you some things. There's a lot of misinformation going around about this whole Twitter thing, and I just read in the paper that the head of the CIA flew out to Saudi Arabia last month. And I think it was to tell them that we were taking Twitter back from them. And that's what this is really about. Whether people want to worry about Donald Trump being on the platform, oh no, God forbid, the right wing might have free speech or this or that. What it's really about is foreign interference in our elections, in our democracy. It's gotten to a horrible situation in America and in Western governments. Now with the war in Ukraine, it's become so obvious, the misinformation that's put out on Twitter daily, the constant attacks, the bots. It's became a national security issue for the United States, became a major issue for Tesla, because Tesla uses Twitter as its main advertising vehicle. And Elon felt it was time to step in and take this asset back from the foreign actors that have been manipulating it.
Definitely not on the same page as Ross regarding Twitter. I understand where he's coming from. There is a little bit of foreign interference. There is some foreign ownership as well. But the issue isn't outside the United States, Ross. It's within the progressive left. The fact checkers, the folks who are making decisions within Twitter, within the United States to censor accurate information. In fact, I'll head over to Bill Maher. He sums it up perfectly.
Has Twitter failed in setting themselves up in the past as the judge of what can go out there? And I would say, yes, you have. You failed when you threw the New York Post off of Twitter for talking about Hunter Biden's emails, and it turned out that was a real story. Right. You failed when you said we couldn't read about whether COVID had come from a lab. You failed. Did you read about this Babylon Bee? You know what the Babylon Bee is? I didn't know this. No. It's like the Christian version of the Onion.
Because everyone needs that.
Well, some people do.
I thought that was
not
Fox
all
News.
You and me, okay? It says your trusted source for Christian news and satire. I didn't know it was such a thing as Christian satire. I thought the religion itself was satire. That's me. I'm not everybody. Okay? I'm not everybody. Have a little humility, right? So listen to this. They got flagged they posted a funny video. This is funny to them. Okay, sensitive content, Twitter said. In the video, they were making fun of Twitter for being too sensitive. This is so through the looking glass. And here's what happens in the video. This woman who going into the Twitter building, this is, parody. This is what people do on television, have done forever. Okay, she's complaining to HR about how sensitive Twitter is. And the guy shows her an ink blot, and she keeps seeing Hitler in all the ink blot. Okay, then she runs screaming out of the building because this is well within what satire has always been. And the fact that they flagged this for being insensitive shows their complete lack of self-awareness about what their own problem is. If that's where the line is, you have failed, Twitter. You do need a new show.
So about this foreign interference, well, I admit there's certainly a degree of that. It's not the foreign interference, it's the local interference from emotional infants, the weenie babies, the woke mob, the snowflakes within Twitter, who not only have a complete and utter lack of self-awareness, but have a track record of making catastrophically wrong decisions when it comes to censorship, fact-checking, deplatforming, and so on. Just imagine that your job was to be a professional chauffeur, a driver, right? You just drive people around, that's your job. And just imagine in the last 12 months alone, you'd been involved in a handful of collisions that resulted in fatalities. That would be pretty strong evidence to me that you're not competent nor capable of doing your job safely or effectively, and therefore you shouldn't have said job. At this point in time, those driving Twitter are making the same level of unacceptable mistakes. Bill Maher is right. Twitter does need a new sheriff.
So a couple of questions. First is, you think Saudi Arabia owns Twitter, or what's the
they do own Twitter. They own 6% of Twitter, but I think they control Twitter internally.
And in what way? Like, do you think it's part of like the content moderation decisions? Do you think that they've got some sort of leverage over the executive team? Like, tell me more about that.
I think they've implanted people in executives from all the way through the company that are acting to help with the misinformation campaigns that have been so effective on social media. Saudi Arabia and Russia being the two biggest beneficiaries of these misinformation campaigns. We have a very insidious thing going on in social media, and with Instagram and Facebook, we have no ability to get control of these assets because Zuckerberg controls it like the great overlord of misinformation. And we're seeing it in countries like India, where Modi has used it to oppress people and really fervent nationalism against the Muslim population in India, and it creates violence and oppression, essentially. So Zuckerberg and Sandberg are perfectly fine with all of it as long as they make money. And I think people like Elon had enough of this stuff. So now he's stepping in and using his considerable financial might to do something that I think that's going to be a benefit to our society and very profitable for ultimately Twitter shareholders.
So my understanding is he's basically putting up some of his Tesla shares as collateral, and then also getting a bunch of financing and kind of putting together what is going to end up being a somewhat complex deal. As a Tesla shareholder, do you worry about the Tesla shares being collateralized to help finance the acquisition of Twitter?
No.
What do you like? How do you?
It's like a 25% margin position, so it's not like he's highly leveraged in it. And quite frankly, I think the Tesla shares are the most valuable shares in the stock market.
Well, definitely hard to argue with this point. I've been buying Tesla stock non-stop with every spare cent. Why? Because I too think it's the best value stock in the market. Of course, there's probably better opportunities, but not able to find them.
So I don't really spend much time worrying about that either, because like when Elon sold shares last week, it was like to a benefit of the public, because he's not operating Tesla. He went from owning 17% of Tesla to 16% of Tesla, and it pushes the price down and allows other investors to buy Tesla stock at a cheaper price.
Ross has hit the nail on the head here. I was among those Tesla stock investors licking their lips and loading up on Tesla stock at the artificial discount provided by Elon Musk selling a small portion of his Tesla stock. Let me know in the comments below if you picked up Tesla in the recent dip as well.
When we all know the information that's out there, that Tesla is executing brilliantly right now in a product that's in such high demand that they really just can't supply it. And what I'm seeing from yesterday is it looks, and this is what's going to happen next. So maybe this is the first place I'm really saying this, is that Tesla is prepared to build a second gigafactory in Texas and a second gigafactory in Shanghai. And I expect formal announcements for that fairly soon.
So you think that they're going to build a second gigafactory in Texas and a second one in Shanghai, along with the plans that they've already publicly announced?
Yeah.
Why do you think that is the plan?
Because I thought about it last night long enough. You
just did some thinking and you just said, hey, if I was Tesla, this is what I would do.
Like, I can't tell you everything, like my sources of information are deep, really deep. I dig a deeper hole than anybody in my business about the companies I own. And the amount of people and information I get about Tesla, there's nobody who knows more about Tesla in the world than me. Maybe a couple other investors, but very few. And that's what's going to happen next.
Okay.
So I surmise all the information, data points that I get, and then I perceive what the next strategic decision my man, Mr. Musk, is going to make. And I look at the reality of the situations and that's what's going to happen next.
Well, you heard it here first, or second. I think we already know about the second Shanghai factory. As for Austin, interesting on this, Ross believes another Austin factory will be announced soon. I'm very, very skeptical about this. Why? Well, it's a fucking gigantic site in Austin. Why wouldn't Tesla just continue to expand in Austin? But, of course, Ross has some information that I apparently do not, so time will tell. I hope he's right.
Are you and Elon boys? Like, you guys text or like hang out or anything?
No.
I thought that I saw you guys tweeting at each other on Twitter or something.
We tweet at each other all the time.
All right.
You know, because
that's boys in the digital world. No, you're boys.
Wait, does that mean Elon and I are boys? I didn't know that.
Like, I went out to the cyber rodeo, you know, like I was like hanging out with his mom and Kimball and his sister, who's super cool, Tosca, and you know, we're in the VIP area with all the VIPs, you know, and Elon's like, you know, twice the rock star I'll ever be. You know what I mean? He's like, people are like mobbing him. So I'm like, I can't even talk to the guy. You know, it's like, I can't even, I'm not going to push through 100 people to talk to him. You know, I one day I hope to get a beer with Elon, you know?
Yeah. I think that you could probably figure out a way to get that done. Talk to me.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, part of it is like, because I'm an investor and I'm in the media pretty much every day about Tesla. I'm not access to information. Like, I don't have a separate relationship with Elon that could create insider trading issues or conflicts of interest. So in a way, it's like good that we don't have that relationship, because I would probably be accused of lots of stuff if we did, even though it wouldn't be true. So, you know, I get all my information, you know, the way I get my information is not directly from board members or senior executives. So, you know, and that's, you got to play the game the right way. You know, I play the game the fair way and I play it the right way.
I think what Ross might be saying is, dear Tesla employees who aren't board members or executives, my DMs are open and the leaks are welcome. In which case, I concur, my DMs are also open as long as you're not an executive or board member. Hit me up on Twitter over at Stephen Mark Ryan, unless doing so would jeopardize your job. So hope you guys and girls have enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with Ross Gerber that Tesla stock is the best value stock, the best opportunity in the stock market today. If not, what is the best opportunity? Let me know below. Just finally, don't forget to sign up to Patreon with the card in the corner or the link in pinned comment. Brand new Tesla stock price targets, brand new Tesla valuation model, plus loads of exclusive content and perks. So see you over there. PS, just a little bit of an aside, yesterday's video for some strange reason was manually reviewed by YouTube's human reviewer who made a colossal error of judgment, and for some reason I think mistook the word bullish for bullshit in my title and decided not suitable for ads or monetization. So hope you guys enjoyed watching yesterday's video without being interrupted by any of those annoying ads. But unfortunately for you, I'm sure this is the last time that will happen. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan, this is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy these videos, there's a bunch of ways you can support the channel, access exclusive content and perks, and get some free stocks and crypto. Check out the links in the pinned comment below. You can also pick up some Tesla, Elon, and investment themed merch in the merch store. If you want to take it to the next level, join thousands of members on Patreon to gain exclusive access to over 100 Q&A videos, loads of exclusive content, exclusive access to my up-to-date 10-year Tesla stock price targets, and even access my Tesla valuation model at the investor support level and above. So check out the links in the pinned comment below, and thanks for your support. And if you're still watching, you're awesome. I read every single comment on this channel and I really appreciate your feedback. So if you've got any thoughts on today's video, questions, comments, or suggestions for a new video, let me know in the comments below. Check the cards on screen now to browse the merch store, join Patreon, or watch the next video.